A very good question. Did ancient Hebrews, ancient Israelites exist? Well, in context of what ancient is, anything over 1,000 years we consider ancient. And in 2,000 years from now, you and I will be considered ancient. But to go more to your point, if you're just reading the Bible, then you would have to accept the fact that Abraham would be your first Hebrew, as he separated himself from the city of Ur, which is a Sumerian city. He became the first Hebrew and began the process of creating what would later become a Hebrew nation. Now, archaeology-wise, we don't have Hebrews until about 1400 BCE, in that era. The first mentionings is not by the Hebrew people, it's by other people, meaning that it was mentioned by the Persians, the Sumerians, the Arcadians. It was mentioned by the Egyptians, who were actually in control of that land. You have a stele that talks about how the Egyptian pharaoh conquered these Hebrew people, these Israelites. We also have the fact of Darius freeing the northern Israelites, the northern Israelites, from captivity in 535 BCE. Now, does this validate the previous kingdoms? Does this validate the kingdom of David? No, we have no proof of the kingdom of David actually existing. The Tel Dan stele doesn't necessarily translate into the house of David. It translates also to the house of Dod, which is a different god, or the house of beloved. And I know that David means beloved as well, but it doesn't necessarily mean a kingdom of David, a King David. The proof of a kingdom has never been proven, other than the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. So there were ancient Hebrews, but it depends on the time frame that we're talking about. You see, the Sumerians, the Arcadians, the Armenians, they all came before there was a Hebrew people. The Hebrew people came later, and many of the stories of the Sumerians, as you can find in Genesis and Exodus, are mere copies or adaptations from the Sumerian culture or the Persian Babylonian culture into what has become the Hebrew culture. So many of the beliefs and teachings and ideas that are within Judaism, Islam, and Christianity originated in the Sumerian culture and then flowed through many other cultures before it became a Hebrew culture. So they existed, but they didn't exist first. And that is the cause of problems for most people. They weren't first.